Okay, hey, it says I'm streaming. I'm streaming. So, welcome to the stream. Today we're going to delve a little bit more into the Ben Burns sample pack that we were looking at yesterday. I have yesterday's open, and I'll copy a chunk of the basic infra over to this fresh pad that we have here. But before we do that, I want to show you a pad that I made just this morning called PSX, which just outputs a single hi-hat sound for now. The reason I did it is because somebody was asking for a batteries included list of PureScript imports because it's annoying to type them out. And I also found that I was using VS Code a lot and then copying it in, which is fine, but I'd like to get in the habit of using this a little bit more. And what it's lacking is the ability to do auto import. So if you have kind of batteries included, then you could just copy that over to any document. So I'll try to keep this up to date so that you rarely have to import anything. And if you do, I'll add it to this list. We can actually change this to whatever we want. So we'll just call it PSX. And it should still work just fine. Yeah. Okay, so let's use this as the base setup for our pad. Today is January 10th. Because why not? Let's just listen to it. Great, and we have our hi-hat. So now let's grab some of the samples from yesterday. So I have this huge data collection that I use where I've just basically loaded up all of the Ben Burns samples from the recent sample pack. So we'll just copy that in because we can. Then we'll use it here. Let's make the formatting a little bit nicer. Okay, great. So sounds, we'll pull them in. We're not going to hear any of them yet, but we're just doing a sanity check to make sure it compiles, and it does. Which means that if I drop one of these in, it should just work. After it compiles, yep, and it does. So there's lots of really nice stuff in here. That's fun. Okay, so let's kind of dive in and see what's there. One thing we didn't look at yesterday. So yesterday, what did we look at? We looked at pads. Actually, we looked at everything but solos, which makes me want to look at solos. So here, we have a file called solos. So let's load this up. This is going to be our path, so that we can just kind of dump in any file and get sound. Cool. So that's a second long. Let's just hear what these sound like. They sound kind of like licks. They're all sorts of shapes and sizes, aren't they? Let's just listen to a couple more. One catches my ear. Yeah, I'm digging it. Let's kind of unpack a little bit more what's inside of it. so it is 4 measures of 4 and 1 measure of 2. So Python to the rescue. And it says it's 12 seconds long. I don't know if I buy that fully. So let's go to cd temp. Let's get the sound. Then sockc m09. Move m09, m09, mp3, sockc m0. All right. So 12.7. Yeah. Great. Okay. So now Python to the rescue. So 12.7. So we had 4 bars of 4 and then 1 of 2. So math dictates that that's 18 beats, which leads me to believe that each beat is this long. All right. So if we just make the whole thing, beat is this. Why 3 T's? Why not? Beat times 18, and then this bad boy, what was it called? All right. Let's play it back, just see what that gives us and if we get a nice loop out of it. So it's pretty accurate, but I kind of wanted to be 16 beats, just nice and round, which means let's make a drop off in the gain as soon as it gets there, and I'll use the shiny new simple piecewise to do that. So map change volume, and we'll do simple piece wise 0.0 is going to be 1.0, 15 point, let's say 15.95 is going to still be 1.0, and then 16.05 is going to be 0.0. So that should get a phase. Let's just see if it compiles okay. Yeah, we want this to be a function of sample time. All right. I reloaded just because it's a little faster that way. In certain instances. Simple piecewise is not a function. Yeah, it's a dependency issue. That's okay. I'm going to do make PW. It is a function, just not in the version that we have. I'll get around to updating that. Simple piecewise. Yeah. Okay. Great, so this should work just fine. Perfect. Alright. Yeah, sorry about that snag again. There's this versioning thing where I try to update the libs and not everything is synced. So simple piecewise is just this make piecewise function that copy and pasted like 8 times, so I want to throw it in the library. Yeah, I'll get around to fixing that. So we should probably delete it from here too. Simple piecewise. Yeah, I'll bring it back when it actually exists. And for now, I'll just put this in the PureScript starter so that you folks can use it to your heart's content, because it is super useful. Okay, so we have our loop. So what I'd like to do with this is, whenever stuff swings like this and kind of has this lilt. I love having these little echoes in it. The problem is we don't really want to speed them up. If we had some type of FFT, then we could just pitch shift it, without speeding up. Of course, there's artifacts and stuff like that. But maybe with some filtering and low volume, we can sort of get the echo effect that we want. Yeah. So I'm going to say wind S map identity. We'll fill in that map with something else for now. Parse one, two. So let's kind of make a grid of 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll fill in the whole grid with these little echoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we just have this one echo for now. So what I'm going to do is give it a tag. So E0, echo 0. On tag E0. And we'll use the same thing. We'll change the volume, but we want to make it 1 beat. So sample time, we're going to say 0.0, then 1, then beat. So that'll do something. No, it won't. Up, yep. All right. Infix operator issue in PureScript. Nothing that parentheses can't solve. Let's just reload. Should be fine. Yeah, I'll have a little loading indicator. Yeah. So there we have that. That little echo. But now, let's filter it. So I'll use the same filter that I used before as a base, but we'll kind of totally change it for our purposes here. So clock time. For now, let's say HP1 is going to be high pass, FREC 2000 Q 1.0. So this will get us a filter, but we can play around with it to make it more amenable. Yeah. Great. And now we can have that little response sort of everywhere. And let's kind of hear what that gives us. It's quite subtle. Okay, so here, what I'm gonna do for this at least is pan it with an LFO. We'll make the FREC 1.0 for now, so just every second. Amp 1.0, phase 0.0, clock time. It should just work. Yeah. Yep. So the same thing. But with a low pass filter and Earth, Wind, Fire, because it's Earth, Wind, Fire, Lambert, Hendricks, Ross are the names of our channels. So now, same exact thing, but a low pass and only on the backbeat. And we'll make the phase 1, and because it's low, a little bit more sluggish. And then low pass, so the frequency, let's make it super low. Yeah, we need to import high pass. So we need to import low pass. And I'll also put that in PSX, low pass, so that we have it. Okay. Yeah, I feel it kicking in my gut. That's super low though. Let's make it a little higher. It's probably not going to be that great if it's that high. Let's see. Yeah, no, yeah, not bad at all. And then let's do on the last one, the following. So still keeping the same sample. Let's take the Lambert. Let's not put any effects chain on it. Let's have rests on all of these. And just make the last one interesting. So we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, E0, E1, E2, E3, and now I want it to be like quite soft. Okay. And we might also need to filter it. So here I'm going to change the rate as well. E0 change rate, and we'll just make it a constant. So const 1.5 E1. So it's going to speed it up. It might kind of suck, but let's see. We don't want on tag for this. We want to map over it because we want it to apply to everything. Let's see. That'll do it. Okay. Should kick in automatically in a second. No, it's being annoying. Yeah, I gotta fix that bug. So you gotta reload whenever there's an error, but it's not the end of the world. Excellent. Let's do the following. So, let's do this. So we're not going to use sample time anymore. We're going to use little cycle time. So little cycle is without branches. Big cycle is with branches. Effectively, they're almost always the same. And here it is too. If I had to go back and do it over again, maybe I would have rigged it up differently. But it is useful in some cases. So here we're going to do b times 12 still is 0.0, but b times 16 is going to be at 1.0. Let's see what that gives us. Should get a nice crescendo at the end. Maybe it'll be too much. Forgot to bring it down. But you get the idea. Times 16.0, 0.03 plus, and that's way too high. 0.3. Let's do it again. That was kind of fun. Bye.